Hey everybody, welcome back to Jimmy Does Coasters. Today we're breaking down every roller coaster at Six Flags Fiesta Texas ranked. And brace yourselves, I've got some pretty unpopular opinions. So I got to know this park a whole lot better when my brother and I made a spontaneous trip to Six Flags Fiesta Texas back in February. Overall, we were super impressed with the park and their awesome rides. This is a super unique park with lots of elaborate theming in their queues, something kind of strange at a Six Flags park. And the entire park is in a giant quarry, so you get a lot of cool views of the quarry wall and a lot of roller coasters on this list that use the quarry wall to their advantage for some unique elements. So let's jump in. First, although these are not roller coasters, I want to give a shout out to some awesome thrill rides in the park that you'll also enjoy while you're there. These are Hurricane, Fireball, Scream Power Tower, and Joker Carnival of Chaos. They have some awesome rides, and I'm really impressed because my home park is Magic Mountain, and they don't have a lot of flat rides, while Six Flags Fiesta Texas has invested heavily in flat rides, and I think that makes it a much more wholesome park experience. Number 10, Boomerang Coast to Coaster. This is your classic Vekoma Boomerang clone. It's a really fun ride, but it's a really common clone, and other than going backwards, it doesn't offer that much that the other rides don't. So it's at the bottom of the list here. Overall, a really fun ride, but never a ride that's on your list of must rides. Number 9, Pandemonium. This is a super fun Gertzlauer spinner clone with a few twins spread across the Six Flags parks. This one was actually closed when I went due to wind, but I know these are always a really good time, especially because it's just a unique, different ride each time. Number 8, Chupacabra. Chupacabra is a classic B&M invert and the most unique Batman clone out there with its orange paint job and mythical Mexican theming. It's a super intense and super brief ride. I've been on different versions of this clone several times, so there's nothing really new here, but it is cool to see this stray from the normal Batman theme, because there are about 7 of these spread throughout the Six Flags park. So like I said, it's lower on this list because it has so many clones out there, but overall it's a super fun ride, and I think Fiesta Texas is actually giving it some new theming. Before the next ride, just remember, if you subscribe, it helps out a lot for me to keep on making these videos. Thank you. Number 7, Roadrunner Express. This is an aero steel coaster designed by the famous Alan Schilke. I think this is actually my favorite family coaster. It's built to look like a kiddie ride, but it packs quite a punch. This features 2 lift hills and intense drops going down under the lift hill of Iron Rattler. And the ride, like a lot of the rides in the park, uses the quarry wall, lifting it up on top of the quarry wall and then dropping you off. This ride is like when you order a bag of chips from a vending machine and it accidentally gives you 2 instead. I could ride this one all day. Number 6, Batman the Ride. This is a clone of the SNS Free Spin, and I was not prepared for how fun this was. My only experience like this had been on the Intamin Zack Spin model, Green Lantern at Six Flags Magic Mountain, which is now defunct and wasn't very popular, but I liked it. And the new SNS models are awesome. Even though the track is simple, it's a crazy unique ride experience every time. The only problem with this ride is that it has just about the most confusing line entrance of all time. I think it's really cool how the park has you enter through what looks like a store, but it's a little strange that the line takes you all the way to the other side of the park by the entrance to Poltergeist. And since you can see Batman's line from out by Poltergeist, you'd expect there to be a line entrance nearby. But no, you gotta walk all the way around to get in line. Awesome ride though, and it'll make you laugh out loud because of the craziness. Number 5, Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger. This is a B&M dive coaster standing 150 feet tall and once held the record for the steepest drop on a dive coaster. Pretty crazy to think that Tormenta, the dive coaster opening up at Six Flags over Texas, will be twice the height as this one. Cliffhanger was my first ever dive coaster, so I'll give it points for that, and I was really impressed by the storytelling experience in the queue too. I will say, I just might not be the biggest fan of dive coasters. I rode this twice, and obviously the dive coaster's biggest selling point is the stall right before dropping you straight down, and I didn't find it as crazy as I thought. Take that with a grain of salt though, this still was a super fun ride, and my favorite part, beside the bunny hop hill at the end, is the second to last helix. If you sit on the very right side, you spend a lot of time low to the ground and you think you can almost touch it, and so that's a pretty crazy experience. I guess my only drawback with dive coasters overall is it seems like most of the time the whole coaster is about the drop, then everything after that isn't built to be very memorable. Number 4, Superman Krypton Coaster. This is my favorite B&M floorless coaster, and mostly because of how it uses the quarry wall so well. You start with a chain lift up to the top of the quarry wall, then turn and drop off the wall, and I gotta say that first drop is intense. Then after the loop, you rise to do a quick helix on top of the wall before dropping off it again. Then you spend the rest of the time zipping over to that beautiful greenery and the mini lake. I am curious how much I'd like this coaster if it were just in a parking lot with none of those same effects and layout, but it's an awesome coaster, and the landscape that it uses just works to its advantage. This was closed when I came to Fiesta Texas about 10 years ago, so I'm super happy I finally got to ride it. Number 3, Wonder Woman Golden Lasso Coaster. As far as I understand, this is one of 2 of the original single rail RMC prototypes, but this is actually my favorite one of the kind. I'd previously ridden Wonder Woman Flight of Courage at Magic Mountain, and even though the one at Magic Mountain is so much taller and longer, I actually like the one at Fiesta Texas a lot more. I recommend riding this one in the front row especially. I thought the back would be better because, you get more whip over the drops, but the front is so much fun because of all the twists and inversions. They're super whippy, so when you hit them at full speed in the front, it's just a crazy ride. This had me laughing out loud at some of the transitions, and the ride feels unpredictable even though you know where the track is going. I love that these models are growing in popularity because not only are they super fun, but they are just a lot more cost effective, so they're helping smaller parks add a lot more to their portfolio. But yeah, this is actually one of the coasters that surprised me the most in how fun it was. Number 2, Iron Rattler. Iron Rattler is a second ever RMC coaster converted from a traditional wooden coaster to a hybrid coaster, after Texas Giant was the first one converted. This roller coaster looks so awesome, and it has been on my bucket list for such a long time. Because of its setting, I'd say this is maybe the world's most unique hybrid coaster. I love how they use a quarry wall here, first dropping you down right alongside it, and then shooting up to the top of the wall to go back down, and then have sort of a weird, slower, whippy section back on top of the quarry wall. Good weird, not bad weird. Then to launch you down off the quarry wall again, this time into a tunnel to finish the ride. I love the look of that last drop, designed to chuck you off the quarry wall. This ride is loads of fun. My only pet peeve is that the ride feels very cut short. So while every second of the ride experience is awesome, it just doesn't feel like a full experience to me. I think that it's because the station platform is about 50 feet in the air to start, but doesn't really do anything to take advantage of that. I mean, there is a small drop to go into the chain lift, but that just feels more like a transition than anything. I would love to see a few more elements either coming out of the tunnel or a few prep elements as a pre-lift section. Then the Iron Rattler would be the perfect ride and undoubtedly my favorite roller coaster in Texas. Number 1, Batgirl Coaster Chase. Just kidding, it's Poltergeist. Alright, I know this is a super hot take, but yes, number 1 is Poltergeist. This is a Premier Rides launch coaster built back in 1999, and it's your typical knot coaster or spaghetti bowl layout. This has a few clones throughout the nation, but this is the first one I've actually ever been on. First, I was super impressed by the theming. This has received a beautiful new coat of green paint, and the queue has actually turned into a haunted house recently. Super genius way to turn waiting into an immersive part of the experience. All I can say is Poltergeist is loads of fun, designed with a stroke of genius, and it had me laughing all the way through its immediate, action-packed, non-stop, near-miss chaos. Because the track is so knotted up, you don't really even know where you're going next, and that just makes the experience all the more crazy, and I could marathon this thing all day long. And I know you're probably thinking, Jimmy, you just said Iron Rattler is too short. It's like 30 seconds longer than Poltergeist, dummy. Explain yourself, you strange man. Well, Iron Rattler has a chain lift, and Poltergeist has a launch. And the fact that Iron Rattler with the chain lift is only 30 seconds longer than Poltergeist, I think tells you all you need to know about how short Iron Rattler is, relatively speaking, in the RMC world, right? When I got off Iron Rattler, I thought, wow, that was an awesome ride, but I felt like it had a little bit of unused potential. When I got off of Poltergeist, I was just laughing and I felt like it used up all of its potential and gave me more than I asked for. So while they're both phenomenal rides, Poltergeist just takes the cake on this one. Alrighty, that sums up my rankings. Overall, Six Flags Fiesta Texas is an incredible park, so be sure to check it out when you're in San Antonio. The rides are awesome, the people running the place are awesome, and the park is just awesome. This video is coming out in a time of a lot of new things, like the development of a mysterious coaster in Crack Axle Canyon, rumors or news that the park head, Jeffrey Siebert, might be leaving Six Flags, and an announcement that Fiesta Texas is one of the few parks under the Six Flags name that will not be going back to the park president model. Does that mean they're planning on selling the park? I don't know. All I know is that the Six Flags Fiesta Texas is a gem of a park and worth a visit because what they've done here is just awesome. If you would like to see more content like these coaster rankings, coaster news, park improvements, or any other random coaster mumbo jumbo, make sure to like and subscribe so I can keep on doing this. You're a rock star, Jimmy out.